Hello, everyone, and welcome to the show where, after the collision, we sift through
The wreckage.
the wreckage. I am your host, Jimmy T. That is the vet, Jamie Williams, and we're here on the PWC network, unfortunately, and not on Hamin Media Group because you cannot talk the kuf kuf. Just saying, I'm not going to mention what that really means. I'm sure people know already. But we are here on the PWC network, and we are on also at Hamin Media Group via Twitch. But most importantly, channelattitude.com, $5, and you can get to hear us after the fact. Anyway, Vet, as you can hear in the background, we've got a new CEO in AEW. I mean, I don't know what to think, dude, but I'm looking forward to getting your reaction. What do you think of the new CEO of AEW?
Well, it's big business, Jimmy. Big business in Boston with Bounty Brian, and it's it was very, very exciting. And they didn't waste any time. They just
at all.
She rolled up in a Mercedes, and
she did.
And then she kicked off the show, very, very first dance style. So I like that. Now the music, on the other hand, you know, the whole joke that we've been saying about money, like, was from her other theme song, which it's like, oh, we didn't even get that. So we've been saying money for nothing.
Dude, I was shattered. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, did you just get down on your hands and knees and start throwing up?
Dude, I'm not lying. When I first heard that, right? First of all, I thought, hey, is that Walter coming out? Why the hell is it Walter's sort of tune, right? Mm-hmm. And then second of all, I'm like, CEO? It's annoyed the shit out of me now, Vet, because every time I hear it, all that goes through my head is CEO, CEO. And I'm like, seriously? I'm going to go crazy just hearing CEO. And it's a shame we're not getting money, but apparently it was her decision to make this track, and she was actually the one rapping on the track. Can you believe that?
Oh, that wasn't just like a Mercedes AI program that was...
Wow.
They do a lot of amazing things with AI, Jimmy. Come on.
That's true. It could have been AI. I mean, I'm not going to lie, because she sounds a lot better than usual. I didn't know she can even bust like that. But nevertheless, there's no more money, which is such a shame. I mean, the amount of times we said it last week, and now we just got to stop. It's CEO, bro. Plain and simple. We just got to stick with that, and we got to get used to it.
I wonder if it's because everybody over in WWE has theme songs that people can sing. So she wanted to have something that the people could at least chant. You know, perhaps that was the thinking behind it. Let's get the CEO thing over. It makes sense. Why not? Let's go with it.
Well, like Jose Luis Rivera says in the chat, ABC, it's easy as 1, 2, 3, CEO.
Bars.
I mean, come on. Yeah. Bars, bro. That was straight bars. Yeah, look, man, I'm not going to lie. I thought it was a bit cheesy at first, hearing that CEO stuff, right? But by the end of the show, it got catchy, man. It started growing on me, and I'm like, fucking, I don't want it to grow on me, but it kind of did grow on me. And look, it's smart. It's smart business for Miss Big Business in terms of her theme. I get it. It's, you know, everyone can sing along to it. It's all good. It's cool. And honestly, dude, I don't know about you, but for me, she felt like a big deal debuting in AEW. She felt like somebody. The only concern I've got when it comes to, you know, Mercedes Moné is she going to overshadow the AEW Women's Division? And if so, once she gets that AEW Women's Championship, I don't see any woman beating her for it for a long time.
And?
Fair enough.
Yeah, like, what do we, you know? But I mean, the you know, as far as the CEO thing goes, like you said, it's smart. It's hard to chant anything else. Like Mercedes is an awkward chant.
Oh God.
What else is it gonna be like?
Monet.
Monet. It doesn't. Nothing feels good, but CEO kind of feels like a good chant, right? So
She done it,
it makes
man.
sense. You
No
condition
doubt.
the people that way.
For sure.
It's just smart. The wrestling fan audience is they're just dogs waiting to be trained, and if you don't train them, they'll just piss and shit all over the floor. So you have to train them, right?
That's a good call. Oh no,
They'll start
spot
chanting
on.
for tables. If you don't give them something else to chant, they'll just start chanting for random tables. They won't even care what kind of match you're in or whether the people have ever used tables before. They'll just start chanting for tables. So if you give them something else to do, they're happy with that. They're very pleased. So that's right off the top. Now, as far as you saying that she felt like a big deal, she did. Here's the thing. AEW's never had a problem bringing in somebody and making them feel like a big deal. It's keeping them feeling like a big deal is where they've dropped the ball consistently time and time and time and time again. They just have to not cool her off. And I feel like on the episode, they didn't take as many opportunities as they could. Yes, they had a Sasha sandwich, let's say, because she came out at the beginning, she came out at the end, and, you know, one little thing in the middle, but you could have had many more of those. Like, she's there all day, you know, shoot some stuff. Anytime, you know, you would think like you could, because of her gimmick seems to just be a rich boss, then you would also stand to reason that if you really had a celebrity there, would you not think that like you would want to cover that like news? So you would want to be like, what are they doing now? You know, it's like the People magazines of like, oh, look at you know, look at, I don't know look at Taylor Swift getting Starbucks. Look, it's like no one really cares, but they have to put something out there. So it's like, look at Sasha. She's over at catering getting a coffee. Like you want to. I keep calling her Sasha. That's just the wrestler in me is always going to call the person by the name you know him as. You know what I mean? Right. That's just the way it is. So there's probably a lot of people that work at AEW that call her Sasha too. Anybody that worked with her at WWE is probably calling her Sasha.
100%.
So but yeah, you could have had those like little things almost like Young Bucks type things, and we pitched the idea of her joining the Elite, but they're not going to go that way. But that kind of a thing where it's like, follow her around. What is she up to? Who's she talking to? What's the deal? Make it feel like you can make her feel like an even bigger star if you're trying to paparazzi her, or you know what I mean? So call. You could have had that all show long, and then anybody that I mean, obviously, it's just like the 90s where if something happens on television live, we all just call our friends on our rotary phones and say, hey, look, Sasha Banks is on AEW now, so you got to tune in and check it out live. And then everybody watches, and then they see her getting a coffee, and they see her talking to whoever. And then they keep watching throughout the show, right? Right, so sure. That'd be the idea of that. Of course, we know that I'm being facetious. Nobody really does that anymore. But the idea of having her throughout the show means anybody that tunes in and sees her could get hooked and keep watching the show. And they'll more likely to stay if you keep leaving the breadcrumb trail of Mercedes Moné throughout the show for them to keep following. That would be because, like we also discussed, they never called her, like they never said she was coming. They couldn't advertise her by name. And so it was all hinted. So there's probably people that still were just finding out about it. Like, what do you mean she's on there? What do you mean she's on AEW? Where's, you know,
who's
you got to give those people a chance to catch up, right?
Right. And there was probably a lot of those WWE fans. And when I say fans, I'm talking about more the casual WWE fans, or the ones that just know WWE and nothing else, that would have, I don't know if they would have tuned in. Clearly, they probably didn't. I mean, going by the ratings. But the point is, they would have, you know, heard about who's Mercedes Moné. And if they did see her, they'd have been like, oh, that's Sasha Banks, right? But why Mercedes Moné? Like, I think there would have been a lot of confusion. But to the hardcore wrestling fans, I mean, it was dead obvious. I mean, if you're a hardcore wrestling fan, you knew she was debuting at Big Business. I mean, the signs were all there. And AEW like doing this, man. They love to blow their load right from the get-go. You know what I mean? They love showing off. They did about 8 weeks of showing off, you know, big business. And you know what? They promoted it. But considering they promoted it as long as they did, I'm kind of disappointed with the overall outcome. And funny enough, did you hear what she said a day before Big Business on an interview that she did?
No, refresh me.
Well, she did an interview the day before Big Business, and funny enough, she got asked about if she's, you know, considering ever going back to WWE. She said yes. As a matter of fact, she's got a lot of unfinished business, and that's what she said. This is quote unquote from her. She's got a lot of
business.
Well, clearly unfinished big business, maybe even bigger business, and she said 100% she will end up back there eventually. It's just a matter of when. And apparently that got her a lot of heat in the back, according to Meltzer. How true that is, I'm not sure. But to be fair, I wouldn't be saying that shit like right before your debut with AEW. You just don't. Just keep that shit to yourself. You know what I mean?
Well, I could see the idea being like, if you're trying to keep this a secret for whatever reason, like she's doing an interview and she's not even going to promote, yes, watch AEW tomorrow night to see me. She's not saying
Yeah,
that.
she didn't.
So if you're
No,
already
you're right.
avoiding talking about it, you might as well go the other way and misdirect, right? Like if they ask you a question directly about WWE, why don't you just answer the question directly? Would you ever go back? Yeah, I'd go back. Like, okay. And then all of a sudden you show up at AEW and it's like, hey, you said you would go back, but you answered the question that was in front of you, but you're not allowed to talk about AEW. So what are you supposed to do? I don't have a problem with that.
You're right. That's true. When you put it like that, that's actually true.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with that. I don't even have a problem with the way they did it. It's just if you didn't get the numbers you wanted on this, right? On this debut, then maybe next week the people will have gotten the word of mouth and they will tune in to see if she will be on. And that's when you can really tell if she made a difference, because the ratings for each week are really for the previous week. If you do something that makes people change the channel, they're less likely to come back and give you a second chance the next week. If you do something good and everybody missed it and they heard about it, they're going to want to tune in and see whatever. I mean, not saying that that's just happens every time, but that's the most likely scenario. I really look at these ratings, and once again, here we are talking about television ratings in 2024, which
it doesn't mean shit really anymore.
They don't mean shit to anybody except the people that work in television. They don't mean anything to the overall company, and they sure as shit don't mean anything to all these wrestling fans on Twitter who talk about it. There's not one person that gives a shit what the rating was. Did you watch it or did you not? Did you watch the clips or did you not? Did you get it the pirated feed or did you not? What, you know, that it doesn't, don't quit. I wish the fans would quit pretending that they fucking care. You don't. You just want to sound smart. We talked about this last week.
It's true.
You know,
you're right.
Fans just want to get on there and talk about how much they know, and they really just end up exposing how much they don't know. So
you couldn't have put it any better than that.
Yeah, the ratings is television ratings in declining. What was SmackDown's ratings?
Good question. I have no idea, but I'll check that right now. As a matter of fact,
they've had The Rock and Logan Paul on. I expect them to crack 3 million. That's the biggest movie star in the world and one of the biggest influencers in the world. Yeah. So they should have 3.5, 4 million people watching SmackDown on Fox, right?
True. Well, apparently, get this. It was 2.46 million in total viewers.
Whoa.
So they were close to 3, but 2.4.
Not even close to 3. They were getting 2.2, 2.3s with just Roman Reigns coming out sometimes. My point is the ratings don't move. It doesn't matter who you bring on there. SmackDown's ratings are not appreciably better than they were before The Rock showed up. But now we're supposed to we're sitting here talking about how, Oh, look at the collision ratings with Okada. Guess he's not a draw. Look at the big business episode ratings. Guess she's not a draw. Meanwhile, The Rock and Logan Paul, same ass shit, 2.4. I'm sorry, it's the exact same thing. Ratings aren't going up. TV ratings are not going to go up. I'm sorry, I don't know who I need to break this to. As time goes forward, you will not be seeing TV ratings go up. You will be seeing them go down. It's very simple.
It's true. I mean, cable TV is dying anyway, and nevertheless, SmackDown is on network television, so they've got no excuses. They should be really pulling in all sorts of numbers compared to cable. Cable, I understand, but network television, you'd think that's kind of disappointing when you think about it, right, Vet?
Yeah, we're talking about anybody can watch it.
That's what I'm saying.
Nothing
right.
stopping you from watching Fox over the air. If you can get to a house that has a television, you can plug that television up and you can watch Fox. Period. So the fact that you're only getting less than 2.5 for The Rock and Logan Paul, it means that there is no such thing as needle movers, and that needs to get excised from wrestling fans' vocabularies when they're trying to, show how smart they are.
Oh, facts. That's why you're the vet, man. I mean, you say how it is, and it's true. And people aren't going to like to hear that, man, but it is what it is. I mean, ratings don't really matter in the bigger picture, but I guess the networks do care to an extent. But
yeah,
you said, man,
no, it does matter to the networks. It matters to Warner Brothers. It matters to Fox. It matters to USA. It matters to everybody who's still in that business. But if any fan doesn't work at one of those networks, then shut the fuck up. You don't have a personal stake in what the number is. And it doesn't matter who's on the show. The ratings don't go up. That's my point. Right.
And it's proven at this point, man, it is what it is. But as far as, first of all, Mercedes did have over 1 million during her segment, apparently. And her video on YouTube through AEW's official site so far has got 918,000 views as we speak. Now, I don't know if that's good or it's bad, but it's decent, I guess. Is it money? Is it big business? I don't know. Time will tell. I mean, we got to see what her merch will even do. Is she going to be the #1 merch seller? She probably will be. I mean, shit. She feels, I hate to say it, but she kind of feels like the biggest star in AEW right now, men and women. She just does. But yes, it was in Boston. For once, the hard camera side was actually packed, but they didn't sell it out. The top end of the arena was blacked out, but the hard camera side was pretty packed. I think they drew around 9,000 people to the TD Garden Arena. So they could have done better. But like you said earlier, if they actually advertised it properly and not sort of, beat around the bush type of deal, maybe they would have gotten a much better draw. But again, this is AEW. They like to cater to the marks. I mean, let's be honest. They just do. That's what they do. They cater to the marks. Either that or they just think that everybody should know what they're referring to when they say big business and dollar signs. I mean, I don't know. But
it's a gamble because you're trying to have a surprise.
Right.
But it's not really a surprise.
Yeah.
But you can't advertise it because even if you did, Mercedes Moné, the name is not the draw. Sasha Banks is the known name. Everybody knows you for your old, whatever you're the most famous as, that's what the most people will know you as. So I get that I get how it's a weird situation, but ultimately people are just, everybody's an armchair quarterback and everybody's telling them how they should do it. And there could be better ways to do things. That's why I like to comment specifically on the stuff that we have to cover. Like when we talk about Collision, I'm going to talk about what they did, and I will give them ways to improve the things that they wanted to do. I'm not going to necessarily tell them you should have done this and it'd be a completely different thing. Like we're joking around when we say like, oh, we should just have, Brian Keith lasso people and bring them in the office, or any of those joking things that we book in
I know
fantasy
it's all
booking.
tongue in cheek, right?
Right, obviously, but there's people that are really out here telling them like they know better, like,
which is bizarre, really, when you think about it, right?
The same people that say Tony's not qualified to do this are telling him how he needs to do it, and it's like, you're just a fan on Twitter. Why are you saying this? There's a lot of hypocrisy, like Todd Brantley would say, but I just, you just have to get past all the people that are just commenting on it just to comment on it, and just look at what they did. What I thought they did was okay. I would give it like a kind of like an Orange Cassidy thumb, like, yeah, good. Could have done better. Could have had more. Could have done more with what you did. It was funny in her promo when she said that the main event was Willow Nightingale versus Riho. I was like, did she make a mistake? Like, obviously that's not the main event, right?
Wow.
It turned out it was. She got it right. So that was the main event.
Was.
But I even see the psychology of that, because it's like, okay, well, you have this match. People might not be as interested in that match, but if you hint that she's coming back at the end, then you could put that match last. Right, you would think you would put the Joe and Wardlow thing last, but
you'd think
if you're trying to close with Mercedes again, then yeah, you got to put that match on last, because that's the only match she would care about, right? So
I guess, yeah. I mean, that makes sense.
Right. It makes sense, but there's always better ways to get about everything. So, we'll see. I'm more concerned with, more than anything else, it's like, okay, we had another great debut from AEW. They got a track record of very good debuts, and they have also a terrible track record of follow-ups. So
the worst.
Let's see what they got for her. Well, she also has her own writer, this Pepperman person. So
does she?
Like,
really?
Yes.
I actually didn't know that. No shit. I'm being serious. I didn't know. That
lady they hired like a few weeks ago.
Oh, yes.
That was another hint.
Yes. You're right.
That was another hint that she was coming in, because this is what she was known for in WWE, is working with Sasha. So
you're right. The
fact that she got hired at all was a huge tip off. The only reason she could be there. Which also another hole in the theory of Tony Khan doing everything by himself. When last week I was questioning, does he really do everything by himself, or does he let everybody do everything and then just take the blame for it?
Well, you bring up an interesting point though, and I want to ask you this: is this a new phase we're going through now, where wrestlers who think, I don't want to say she thinks, well, she's got an ego, let's put it that way. I mean, she does. I mean, most wrestlers do, and it's healthy to have an ego, but I think she's got an ego on a different level. But is this becoming a thing where wrestlers now are starting to bring their own writers? Like, you got The Rock with Gerwitz, and now I was going to say Banks, but Monet with Peppermint, whatever her name is. Why are we getting this, and why are the powers that be allowing this to even happen? Because it's going to start a trend, Vet, and I don't like it, to be honest.
I think that you're not going to see that as much in WWE. I mean, The Rock is The Rock, but
right, that's an exception.
He took Gewurz from WWE, not the other way around. So that's
true.
That's why he's there. Other than that, they're not going to be doing that. But Tony wants to make his talent happy. So if they say, hey, I'd like this as part of my deal, if I come in, I would like so-and-so to come in too. And how can he say no? Because that would be extremely hypocritical, because this whole thing was nothing but guys getting their friends jobs from the start. So how could he tell her, no, you can't have, Peppermint, and but meanwhile, Kenny can get every Tokyo Joshi Pro female on this roster, and Brandon Cutler can be on television for any reason, or like, you can't. It would be a little bit hypocritical. So he kind of has to go along with it, and that's part of dealing. In fairness, that's part of dealing with stars in entertainment. They have demands. They have writers. They have writers. Everybody,
Writers.
you gotta pick out the right M&M colors. We've heard all the stories, and some people are cool about it. Some people have entourages. Some people, independent. It's different from person to person. But anybody that's creative, I feel like anybody that has talent, anybody that is creative, anybody that is a star, whatever that means, I feel like they all sort of have like a little bit of what people would consider to be difficulty to deal with.
Right.
But at the same time, everybody thinks that everybody else is making things hard for them too. Like when you go to your jobs, everybody listening, like when you go to work, do you just assume that everything's peachy keen, or do you look at your boss and you're like, God, I can't believe I have to do this, like, of course. And then they look at you the same way. Like, this guy's always complaining about what I ask him to do. It's just,
100%.
It's just how the world is. But I think we lose our perspective sometimes.
Right. No, for sure, man. You're spot on. And that's why, man, I love hearing your insights, because you're totally different to everybody else. And you're the smart one when it comes to fucking insights, man. No one gives better insights than you do, Vet. And that's why you are the Vet. But before we do move on, I just want to ask one more thing. What did you think of her promo? Because a lot of people were shitting on it, to be fair, right? A lot of people were. But I think that's a little unfair, because what do you expect her to say, man? I mean, it's her first time, and she's in her hometown.
Yeah, I'm a fan, but I will admit she's never, the promo's not been her strong suit a lot of times.
No, never. Right.
But that was actually like, the way she talks naturally is good for getting her heat when she's a heel. Like, my favorite version was the NXT Ratchet version. Like, I really liked that. And the way she talked and acted there, that played into it.
Right.
But her stilted way of speaking is very, it doesn't work as well when she's a babyface. But this time, when she came out there, it wasn't amazing, but it was like I felt like she was just speaking more from the heart, about the situation. Yeah. So it was okay. Yeah, I'd give it like a C. It's not really, you're not going to call up your friends and tell them they need to watch that. Let's put it that way.
Was it a C for CEO there, Vet?
C for CEO. Money. We'll keep it alive, Jimmy. We'll keep money alive. And speaking of promos, I've cut promos.
Right.
And they've been here on the Wreckage. And I've been cutting them on Dwayne Johnson for sucking it up, right? And blowing it and being lame and boring, right? So I have to also come back here, and I know you probably talked about this yesterday. The whole rock concert thing from
you hated it, didn't you?
Yeah, that was just awful. This is the worst. This is the worst of the Rock. This is everything that I personally find like I just can't. Please give me 20 Sasha Banks promos before I ever have to listen to the Rock sing songs that he thinks are funny, right? But as soon as he stopped, okay, and went into the regular promo, now that is a money promo. Right, I will give it up for that promo. It's finally he did something good. So I have to give it up to him, because I always say how fair I am, and that's real. I've talked a lot of shit about everything he's done since he's been back, but I have to give that promo, like, I would give it a 9 out of 10. A 9 out of 10. Wow. He could have made it even better than that. But to put that in perspective, the other promos that he's done, I wouldn't give any higher than like a 6, maybe, at best.
Right, he was creative for once.
3.
Right.
I'd give the Rock concert a 3 out of 10.
I'll be honest, I think it was... Look, all the Rock concerts have been pretty cheesy, but I actually felt like this one could have been one of the better ones out of his Rock concerts. That doesn't mean it was great. And you're right, his actual promo was money. No pun intended. It was legit money. And he sounded like he meant it. I mean, and him talking about Cody being a mistake and shit. I mean, come on, that is brilliant, dude. Because, I mean, when you think about it, I mean, he probably was a mistake. I mean, seriously. I mean, nothing against, him being a mistake or not, but it's kind of late, by his parents' standards to pop out a kid at their age at the time. But I guess they're glad they did, because look at Cody now, right? I mean, he's a success. He's a successful story. Really finished his story. I didn't even know anymore, Vet, at this point. He should.
He's got to.
They're
going towards it.
Right.
Because he's but I mean, part of what I'm saying about this promo is like with the Raw concert was you just tried to babyface these people.
Right.
And then knowing that they like Cody also, then you tried to turn them against you. That's where it gets a 9 out of 10 instead of a 10.
Right. Exactly.
Because these two things should not be there. If you wanted to do a little, thing in Memphis, maybe you could have done that as like a dark match main event.
Ooh,
like
interesting.
You come out, cut the promo on Cody, drop the mic and leave everybody like, God damn. And then they have the whole SmackDown show, which was not good. Then he comes out at the end after the show goes off the air and does the little, then he can babyface
rock
Memphis
concert
or whatever.
And shit. Right, yeah. No, you're right. But that's another issue now I've got, because didn't he come across as so much more cooler than the other three by the end of that? Let's be honest. I mean, the way he highlighted Cody crying on Raw this past Monday as well made me laugh. It made him look so uncool compared to, like, when The Rock brings that cool factor to the table, it's like there's no one else cooler, that can even touch him.
Well,
you know what I mean?
don't
When he wants
get
to be
too far ahead of let's not go that
No,
far.
I'm being serious. This is my opinion. This is not our opinion. This is just my opinion. I just think he just has this cool factor that Cody doesn't exactly have. Heck, not even Roman has. Seth Rollins definitely doesn't have. And it shows. And it makes everybody else he overshadows everybody else when he does something really good. You know what I mean? And I'm worried that, could there be a possibility where The Rock actually ends up getting cheered again and Cody gets booed out of the building? I mean, don't put it past him, dude.
I don't think Cody would get booed out of the building, but they could be just cheering these guys independently.
Right.
And as far as Cody crying, like, people are making way too much out of that. Like, what else do you expect? He's trying to make it real so that you buy into wrestling for a change, instead of just like the same phony bullshit that we've always been having to listen to for the past 20 years. Ever since Stephanie McMahon took over creative, like, it's the same phony bullshit. So for him to make it real, I don't think it's not like he's fake crying. It's not like he's trying to cry on purpose, but I mean, the stuff means that much to him in terms of, like, it's not just like the wrestling story. There's reality in it, and that's why Absolutely. It works. That's why people are into it, because people can feel that from him. I mean, it's not about the crying. It's just about the fact that he's trying to make it, he's making it real because it is real. And that's why people are getting on board with him. Because otherwise, Cody's just as phony and unbelievable as The Rock is. Like when he was doing all that dumb shit in AEW and everybody was like, Get the fuck out of here with this. That's the Cody we could be getting. And then he tries to, like, tap into, like, a real aspect of his life to take his family and make that a part of the story. And then people are like, you're crying. It's just, okay, so what? Another guy getting jumped backstage with a lead pipe. Is that better? Like, you haven't seen enough of that?
That's Pro Wrestling 101, Vic. Come on.
Yeah, should we just hit Cody with a steel chair? Is that going to get you fired up for WrestleMania? Is the same old shit? I mean, people just don't know what they want, and they don't even know what's good anymore. And even the stuff they like, they don't even know how to like it right. People are terrible at everything now. So
that's a whole different subject. We can get into that, and that'll take another 2 hours in itself. But I'm glad we spoke about those. I mean, is there anything else we really need to touch on when it comes to The Rock and moving forward, or that pretty much touches everything?
I don't know how he's going to follow up that home run.
And we still got 3 weeks,
the bed again, but we'll see.
Well, is he going to be on SmackDown every week from, from when he's appeared pretty much till WrestleMania? Is that what the deal is now?
I think he's trying to be in full promotion mode.
Should he turn up on Raw even, right before WrestleMania?
I don't know why he shouldn't.
I guess no, you're right. I'm just expecting him to, and I think he should, because I don't want him overshadowing the whole roster at this point. Because really, after the Rock segment, it just fell flat, man. The other thing I didn't mind, I guess, was LA Knight, AJ Styles, but they didn't really do or say much. It's just,
Oh, you
standard
mean the
bullshit.
one where AJ Styles ran out and hit LA Knight with a chair? Oh my God, I can't wait to see this match at WrestleMania, Jimmy.
No, trust me, I'm not looking forward to that match per se. It'll be a decent match.
I'm
Don't get me wrong.
I'm glad that LA Knight didn't cry in his promo too. Like that was. Who needs crying? We could just have a good old fashioned steel chair.
Hey man, it's
and
AJ Styles
with
20...
the riveting. I accept. Wow, he accepted, Jimmy. Man, can I call my cable provider and order this for full price? I don't want to even just watch it on Peacock. I want to pay them more money because AJ Styles hit LA Knight with a chair. That's what I like to see. Enough of all this crying bullshit, and singing. Let's get to the chair hitting.
Actually, you made me think about something. Has the build to Mania, other than the Bloodline stuff and Cody and Seth, other than that shit, has the build to WrestleMania been pretty lackluster? Oh, and the Rhea stuff, that's kind of decent, I guess, for now. But do you think it's been pretty lackluster, really, when you think about it? I think it's very lackluster, dude.
Well, I mean,
so far, anyway.
But usually it is, isn't it?
Well, yeah. I guess Mania can be pretty overrated. Even though I didn't mind Mania last year until the end. But yeah, I don't know, man. It's just something feels off about this. Again, look, it could be the main event just taking over. Even look, do you care about Jimmy and Jay going at it? Really?
Only personally, just because I know it's something they wanted and they get to do it.
Right.
So like the old, worker in me is like, good for the boys that they actually get some creative that they wanted, and not just forced to do something. That part, yeah. Do I care about the match? Not especially, but I'm happy for them.
Well, I'm sure they'll hit it at the park anyway, man, as they do it. You know what I mean? But anyway, we'll see. I can't believe I was reading on the net, dude. People think that Tama Tonga is going to screw Cody somehow. People are still thinking Tama Tonga is signed with WWE. Nothing is official, man. He hasn't signed with WWE, all right? And don't be surprised. And he's not some... Man, that pisses me off, bro. Thank you for saying that. Thank you so much. You know how many arguments I've had about that bullshit? Like, why? Because he's a Polynesian guy, he automatically needs to be part of the bloodline? He's not Samoan, though. The bloodline is Samoans, not fucking Tongans.
Well, remember, I mean, are they really... Wait, now that I think about it, are they really Tongan or are they like
No,
Mexican?
they're Tongans.
Because remember yeah, Camacho
right,
on the tricycle.
That's true. That's true.
So
you're right.
Maybe Tongaloa will come and join the Legado del Fantasma, huh?
That was so bad, dude. Because the thing is, I've grown up with Polynesians, dude, and just looking at him, even back then, going back on it with him and Hunico, he does not look fucking Latino whatsoever, bro. Like at all. Like, you know what I'm saying?
To a promotion run by white people, all you need is brown skin.
God help us, man. That's such a fucking McMahon call, that one, man. 100%. But luckily for him, and I'm talking about Tangaloa, he got the hell out. You know what I mean? But yeah, that's just silly shit. But yeah, they're Tongans, not Samoans. They're not family. They're not part of the bloodline. It's nothing. And Tongans and Samoans actually, traditionally don't like each other. That's a fact.
Probably because everybody keeps confusing them.
Well,
so don't like
do you blame them? There's Cook Islanders, there's friggin' Fijians. They all look the same per se, but they're not the same. It's like saying every European's the same. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But or every African person's the same. It's not the same. But it is what it is, and that's just humans, right? And people in general. But anyway, I think that covers our WWE and money talk, shall we say. I mean, we can go on and on. I mean, we've already gone 40 minutes, dude. Time flew just talking about those two subjects. So, Vet. Oh, there's one more thing. Did you hear about the news about Ricky Stark signing with WWE, by the way?
No. Is that news?
Well, yesterday I read an article. Well, it was according to Meltzer, apparently. But then I went to find it again, and now I can't find it, but I saw it. Right? And I don't know if it was bullshit and they just redacted it, maybe. But I don't think it's bullshit. I think where there's smoke, there's fire. I mean, he has been, like, you know, he was helping train Jade Cargill at the Performance Center, man. That's true. I mean, he has been sort of mingling with the WWE people. I actually think he's pretty much, you know, a foot in. I think he will be signing there. And apparently he's going to be starting with NXT. How true is that shit? I don't know. I believed it, but now I can't find it anymore. I came across it, and now it's like it's been redacted. So, you know, take it for what it is. But, I mean, is there anything you would say about that? Do you think he's pretty much going to go? Look, even if he hasn't signed yet, he's going. I truly believe
he's
that.
waiting the clock out. That's
Absolutely.
basically all it is. As soon as he's
100%.
available. And I'm sure they'd be interested to have him. Why not? I mean,
yeah, why not?
I mean, I wouldn't personally, at this point in WWE's, like, where they're at with their current talent, I don't think they need Ricky Starks or should go to any lengths to try to get him, but why not? Just one more.
Well, he ain't money. He ain't money. But he's Ricky. Well, Vet, other than that shit, I don't think there's anything else. Oh, actually there is. I read one more thing before we started, right before. Now, I don't know if this is some sort of angle building. I don't know why it would be. But Booker T came out today and on his podcast, and he said that he had a bit of a run-in with CM Punk at this past week's NXT. He wouldn't elaborate because he doesn't want... This is what's so dumb about this. He doesn't want the dirt sheets running with it and turning into something that it's not. But he came out publicly and said it. So what are you going to, you're going to get everyone speculating now. So apparently some sort of run-in happened between Book and CM Punk. I've heard rumors. I heard this before he came out with it. I didn't know how true it was. But apparently it had to do something to do with a food item. Now, don't quote me like it's true. But this is what I heard before he came out with it. I just didn't believe it at the time. Now, I don't know if that was a muffin. I don't know if it was a cookie. I don't know what the fuck happened. But Booker T did confirm something did go down. How true is it? I have no idea. I mean, should we be worried about it in terms of CM Punk and already causing trouble?
Probably not.
Do you think there's some sort of work and they're building to something in the future?
Could be. I don't know what, but it could be something. But I mean, they already talked in the past. If you heard that story about when he came up to like when Punk walked right up to Booker T after he first came back and was like how he's like, hey, you flip flopper or whatever, because he keeps like, you know how Booker T is. 1 minute he'll say one thing, another minute he'll say the other thing. And since he has a podcast to do,
right,
he's always got to keep talking about stuff. So whatever people are going to bring up to him as far as news or whatever. So he said they already we already know they've had contact and have talked and, been hanging out there if Punk keeps going down there, which he will because he needs something to do. And he's already expressed an interest in helping to develop the future talents. But at the same time, let's go to the other end of the spectrum and say there is an issue with them. Well, you don't always get along with every single person you work with.
100%, man.
But I think both of those guys are professional enough. I know that sounds funny considering why CM Punk's there in the first place, but I think they've known each other for long enough, and they've, it's one of those things that people are going to try to run with and make a story, even if there isn't. And if there is, we'll see. Or there could be one thing one day. You know how it is. I mean, again, we were talking about real life. One day you go to work and you have a beef with somebody. The next day you squash it and move on. And
that's just that, right?
Yeah, nobody cares. And then there you go.
Well, yeah, I found that kind of interesting. I think that pretty much covers the main sort of stories. So, Vet, I think it's time we sift through the wreckage.
Well, in
And
Chicago
boy,
news, speaking of CM Punk in Chicago, I saw that didn't Justin Fields just get traded to what was the team he got traded to? Pittsburgh? The Steelers? Dr. Britt Baker's must be over the moon about that.
I'll find out right now. Just to be sure. Yeah, he did. He's now playing for the Pittsburgh Steelers. You're right.
All right.
I'm sure the DMT.
That leaves the Chicago Bears with the same situation they've always had without a quarterback.
Crap. They're shit, dude. They're done. I mean, I'm not even the biggest NFL fan, but I know enough to say, and don't you dare, Josh, don't start that bullshit in the chat, please. He's saying CEO DMD. Can you imagine the crowd friggin' doing that? CEO DMD. Oh boy, it's gonna drive me nuts.
I could if Britt Baker was ever on TV.
Well, that's it. That's the thing, man. She hasn't even been on TV. And thanks for tagging me with Meltzer, Josh. You're gonna cause trouble on the Twitterverse. But I think Meltzer responded to Josh, which is TN Cooper in the chat, about like something to do with Foley. Oh man, it was Foley and Darby. You know, the comparison about. Oh, and what Meltzer said basically was, I said the same thing about. He said the same thing about Rey Mysterio and Foley, or people were saying the same thing 25 years ago. And look at him now. Even though Foley can't even really walk anymore, and Ray, I don't know how he does it because he's got how many, fucked up knees has he got, man? How many knee surgeries has he had?
Well, I don't know. He only has 2 knees, so.
Well, yeah, but no,
that
really,
that part of it, but
he has had a few knee surgeries, man. The fact that he can still go, is a testament to him.
Right, and Mick Foley's training for one more match, so we'll see.
No, dude, really?
One more match.
God, man, why, dude? Why I couldn't get for what? Some sort of indie promotion?
I don't know, but he, they, to your point, people told him he'd be in a wheelchair when he was 30. So
well, he was close.
Yeah,
I mean, let's be honest.
He wasn't.
I mean, shit. But he wasn't.
You never know.
He does walk like a penguin. I mean, he's feeling it though. There we go, the rim shot.
Well, I think part of what all things considered, part of Mick Foley's problem is just he's fat all the time. So even if he wasn't, if he didn't have like, if he doesn't had like a career where he took a lot of bumps, he'd still be having problems getting around at his age because he's carrying so much extra weight unnecessarily. If Mick Foley was his proper weight, then he'd feel a lot better even after the career he had. So he just got to stop, getting that late night ice cream and just,
I could picture that too, man. Eating from the tub.
I'm just going off what he said.
Really?
He's the one admitting to it. I'm not casting aspersions on anybody. He's talked about his own diet and how he doesn't take care of himself the way he should. And that's as much of a problem now as his prior career was. So.
And it's true, man. When you gain that sort of weight and, it's hard on the knees, especially when you get older. And like you said, that's the facts. Again, vet stating facts, not beating around the bush and talking shit. You're straight up talking facts, man. And that's what it really is. It's probably got nothing to do. I mean, of course, his wrestling career has some sort of bit to do with it. But really, did he ever do his knees when you think about it? Even after getting thrown off? I don't recall him ever having real knee issues to the point where he needed knee surgeries.
Not really. I think he has had his knees worked on a little bit, but again, that's
wrestling, right? That's life. It happens. And ballet. Well, if he's getting back in the ring, God help him, man. That's all I'm saying. These guys need to just stay retired, for crying out loud. But it's wrestling, like you said. One more match. It's always one more match. I just don't want to see Flair in the ring again. That's for sure.
No,
But
he needs to be done.
done for good. But in saying that, shall we sift through the wreckage,
All
Vet?
right.
I know it's
All right,
hard,
let's
but
sift it up. Well, Collision comes to you from the Canadian Tire Center, which that just sounds like the shittiest, like low rent building that you could possibly get. However, it's not. It's a 20,000 seat arena
is
where the
it?
Senators play.
So the
Yeah.
Senators play there. God
Yes.
damn.
Yes, this is the Ottawa Senators home ice. And I believe it can be configured. The seating is configured for something like 18,000 something. I don't think they approached that here for this episode. But,
Oof.
I mean, they did their best.
Dude, this crowd was awful. I mean, did they really? I mean, they popped it first, but really, I don't know, man. They were awful. And some of those heads in that crowd, no offense to our Canadian listeners, I'm just saying, but God damn it, Ottawa's got some heads in there, dude. That's all I'm saying.
All right. Well, let's head down to the ring for Bryan Danielson versus Katsuyori Shibata. Shibata's
Damn,
back.
bro. Oh,
He's back.
speaking
Jimmy.
of guys, yeah, please continue.
Oh yeah, well, so apparently, the reason he hasn't been around is because of something to do with his visa. Because I thought that Shibata lives in L.A. because he runs the dojo.
The
out
dojo,
there.
right? Yeah, that's
But
facts. It's true.
I guess whatever visa he was on, he needed to get that taken care of. So he did that. Now he's back. And I guess he's also part of Danielson's bucket list of guys. You know, the story that kind of the announcers were saying, and Danielson will say later, we'll cover it, is that these are two guys who were told they would never wrestle again. So I'm sure that somewhere, somehow, you know, Michael Jargo was just uncomfortably tossing and turning.
Oh, he would have been pissed, bro. I guarantee it.
Yeah.
Shout out to Jargo, by the way.
Yeah. But nonetheless, it was you know, the match itself, you know, watching it now, I'm looking at it like, what's gonna happen? You guys, hey. But it was a good, like, safe-ish. It's safe enough, especially for AEW compared to what some of these other guys do. And that's kind of a theme throughout the night. One thing I noticed about this episode of Collision is they overall, from top to bottom, everybody kind of toned it down a lot more than they usually do. If you we'll talk about it throughout the review, but this was the first match where I'm like, you know, they did go outside, but they were only out there for like maybe a minute, and then they
didn't really. No, you're right.
Yeah, they got back in. You know, it was mostly wrestling, grappling. You know,
it felt like a pure match, dude. Let's be honest. That's what it came across as, right?
Yeah, no, you know, nobody taking crazy bumps. It was a lot of just like striking and wrestling. So as safe as these guys could do it. Obviously, they both don't want to hurt the other one because of exactly what we're talking about. These guys have had head injuries in the past, so there wasn't a lot of like pile drivers or, you know, things.
Thank God.
Yeah, it was just a lot of chopping and kicking and wrestling, and you know, it ends on a technical pin where Danielson, like, you know, they're doing a little bit of a back and forth trying to get the cover, and then Danielson crucifixes him for a 1-2-3, holds him down. There you go. They shake hands. Everybody's happy. Bow. Only problem with this finish, I feel like I've seen this like 3 times this month, where some of it was in New Japan. They've been doing the New Japan Cup. Whoa, is the House of Black over at your place, Jimmy? What's
Dude,
happening?
I don't know why it's gone black. That's whoa.
Oh,
Dude.
Julia Hart. Oh my God.
No shit, man. The lights didn't go out. I don't know what happened there. That was weird. Maybe the House of Black is haunting me. Damn. Anyway, continue on. Don't mind me.
Yeah, that's funny because that's almost next. But so, you know, overall, like I said, as far as these guys went, it was pretty safe and entertaining. But I just don't like that finish because I feel like I've seen it way too much. And that what that means is that everybody's watching shit and stealing it, thinking nobody else is going to see it. But if somebody like me who sees it, it's like, I see this too much. So, you know, that's my only little nitpick on their match. But what about you, Jimmy? Did you have anything else to add to that?
It was a decent match. You know, I was sort of cringing at first because I was kind of surprised to hear Shibata's music hit. First of all, I was like, "What?" Shibata and Danielson. I'm like, "Oh God, here we go." But the thing is, I don't know if it was just me, but did you feel like this match went for a little too long?
Well, it's going to be the only time they get to do it, so they might as well take some time.
Right. I guess. No, you're right. Yeah, I just felt like it was a little too long for me. I started getting a little bored, man. I'm not gonna lie, because it was just too, like you said, they were going through the motions, and like you were saying earlier, that you could tell they didn't want to really hurt each other, even though they were kind of hard hitting at times. But
I don't
they're
think
pretty
going
great
through the
workers,
motions,
though.
I don't think you meant it the way that sounded.
No,
It's not like
not
they were
going through the
phoning it
motions.
in.
No, not in that sense. I mean, as in just like doing everything possible without being too like heavy, if that makes sense. Like I said, it came across as a Ring of Honor pure match, more so than anything else. But it was also very choreographed a little bit, dude. Like, there was a lot of spots in this match where it just felt like too many setups, and it was easy to see, which surprised me with these two. But in saying that, though, they like everything, like, you know, both of them kicking each other in the face. They both do the double down, you know what I mean? And then they get up, the chops. You know, I mean, did you see Danielson's trap area, dude? That was
Right.
that was
Because
something
you're
else,
not really
dude.
slapping him in the face, right?
Right,
So
it's right.
that's where
It's
you
like
hit him,
this
but
sort of thing.
yeah, but the problem with that is if you hit him too hard in the places that is not their face, then everybody sees you're not hitting him in the face.
Right,
That's
right.
what
It's
a lot
true.
of people think that don't watch Japanese wrestling. Glenn Gilberti, they think they're actually hitting each other in the face and head.
Does he think that for real?
He thinks that. He believes that. He
Okay.
says it every chance he gets when he's just,
I haven't
they're
been
all hitting
listening
each
to
other
him
in the
lately.
head and everything. Like, motherfucker. They're not, but that's the thing. Like, if you hit them too hard, then you see where they are hitting them and it exposes it, right? So he's got this thing, this big welt and bruise on his trap and
Dude,
neck, which obviously
was
if you were trying to
savage.
slap a guy or punch a guy, you wouldn't be doing that. That's the work part of it.
Right.
So
exactly.
it looks like he hits him in the face when he does it, but then you're
But
seeing.
yeah, but it's an illusion too, because you can kind of tell they're going for this sort of area, but it looks like they're slapping across the face, but like you can see it. Like if you pay attention, you can kind of tell that that's what they're going for. So the fact that he's, you know, a former worker, you know, that's been in the business for as long as he has, the fact that he truly thinks they're really slapping each other across the face, that's kind of sad, dude.
It's very sad. But anyway, that's the problem with narratives. People listen to guys like that, and then they think it's, you know, they think
Right, it's
everything's
gospel.
like that. That's exactly what we were talking about last week. It's
Last
like you
week,
hear somebody
exactly.
else say something, now you're repeating it. Not one of you knows what you're talking about, but the guy that's the most over gets his narrative through, right?
But he should know. That's the problem. That's what's sad about it.
Well, he doesn't watch. He just assumes, right?
Right.
That's why.
Spot on.
So, and a Lab Rats comment where he says they lost me at the sitting slap spot. Now that's an interesting comment because it goes to a bigger problem. The thing where you sit across from Shibata and slap each other,
That's
is
the
a
thing for
Shibata spot.
Shibata.
That's a
Right, exactly,
signature
exactly.
Shibata spot. The
Yep.
problem is every other dude on these shows is doing like the forearm trades, the chop trades. Like they're abusing the spots that should be saved for special moments. So like I agree that it's not cool to do the no sell, or not it's not a no sell, it's like the grit your teeth and try to break the other person's will spot. If you've seen Rocky 3 where he's like telling Clubber Lang to hit him,
Right,
like,
right.
nobody said that sucked, but they're saying wrestlers suck. Or if the scene of Bloodsport where he gets in the kicking match with the Muay Thai guy, You know, like
As
they're
in
both kicking each other back and
Tom
forth.
Paul?
Like who's no.
Oh no, Paulo Young you're talking about. Oh no, the Arab guy. I know who you're talking about. Don't worry, don't worry. I remember in Bloodsport, the guy, the kickboxer. I remember. Don't worry.
Yeah. So the idea is the idea of the spot is you have come to a point where you've decided like, okay, look, traditional techniques aren't getting it done. Now it's attrition. Which one of us is going to back off first? But that spot doesn't mean anything if everybody does it. It should only be for very certain guys and main event guys. So you should see it once every few weeks, not a few times every week. It's
plus, if you're not familiar with Shibata and his spot, then you know I can understand why people would feel that way. But that is always a thing with Shibata, always has been, and that's all that was. You know what I mean? But I think a lot of the times, and this comes back to like the Western audience not understanding Japanese wrestling and their style of storytelling, because that's what it is, man. That's really this way of telling a story in a match.
It is, and but it's also like, all the American white dudes are co-opting it and doing it wrong.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Well, I wasn't going to say that. That's more deeper. But actually, that's a good point now that you say it like that. But also, you know, the Western audience just doesn't understand that's psychology, Japanese style psychology. Because to, you know, your normal Western fan that doesn't understand or watch Japanese wrestling, they just think it's just garbage. You know what I mean? That's not wrestling. It's just stupid.
Yeah, even though I just gave you two Western examples of people doing that in movies. Right. And I also, in Japan now, it's overused also. Because
that's true too.
Everybody has that spot where they just drop everything and start trading back and forth. And it's not everybody needs to do that.
And it's creeped into like the American wrestling scene, you know what I mean, all the time now. That's the problem.
Yeah, because they see it and they're like,
right,
hey, I want to do that. Like all of my favorite wrestlers, I want to do that. Every wrestler ever has done that. They were like, he's my favorite wrestler. Ric Flair was like, hey, that guy's the nature boy. I'm a nature boy. You know, it's just like talking about Buddy Rogers. It's like everybody steals what they like from the guys they grew up on.
Always have, bro. Always have.
But now guys are like stealing spots and moves, but it doesn't work without the ideology behind it, and it also doesn't work if everybody's doing it. It's best used sparingly. For everybody should have their own things. It's like, it's why you wouldn't have an entire promotion where every match is a comedy match.
Oh no,
there's no reason for that.
Is it a communication issue possibly, Vet? Maybe why this is happening?
No, because put it this way, the only person that could tell him is the person at the top. So like if I was running a promotion, I'm like, ain't none of y'all doing Fighting Spirit tonight. You know, don't even think about it. If I see anybody doing Fighting Spirit out there, you're getting your whole pay docked. Right?
Oh shit.
So that's what I would say. But a wrestler can't go to another, like Trent can't go up to, you know, Shibata and be like, hey, don't do the Fighting Spirit because I'm doing it. I'm the best friends. Okay, I was here first. You know, like I'm just throwing two names out, but I'm just saying. Like,
right, but I get you.
You can't say it to anybody because everybody's doing it. You can't tell somebody not to do something that everybody does. So the wrestlers will never communicate it to itself. It has to be the person at the top who's booking things and is saying like, in my main event, it's the same reason. Like if you know, here's another extreme example, but like if Darby Allin's going through a pane of glass tonight, everybody on the card shouldn't need me to tell them they're not going through a pane of glass.
No,
they shouldn't need me to tell them that. That should be a given. But it goes to the same spot of like, if I have a tables match tonight, nobody else is using a table in their match. You know what I mean? It's
out the window now, pun intended.
Right. But you see what I mean, though? That's not up to the workers. That's up to the person that's in charge to like say, the agents, this is my show. This is what I want. The agents should talk to each other and make sure that nobody's repeating anything in their matches. Right. Because if everybody does headlock, tackle, drop down in all their matches, that's funny. If everybody goes through a table, what are the odds of that? If everybody goes through a pane of glass, really, what are the odds of that? If everybody does Fighting Spirit, what are the odds of that? Really, every wrestler wants to stand there and take blows
I
unprotected?
know, it doesn't
It
make
seems like
sense,
some
dude.
people probably, based on their character, probably wouldn't want to do that. But whatever.
It's in
So
now, dude. It's an in thing. It seems. I don't get
right,
it, bro.
and it may pass,
Oh, are you sure?
or it may be even worse. Maybe that'll become the new headlock tackle drop down. So I mean, we'll see. But all I can tell you is Shibata can do the slap spot. Maybe everybody else should not.
Exactly. And that's the Shibata spot. Period's been doing it for years, man. But Todd Brantley in the chat says apparently, but one of the titles of the HMG Pick'em Challenge is the Fighting Spirit title. So go figure, right? I didn't know that.
Well,
Who named it the friggin' Fighting Spirit title, for crying out loud? I wonder who was the Mark Tyler that did that. Anyway.
I wouldn't know.
Well.
Not being on Facebook, I have no idea.
You do the best thing, Vet. Not being on Facebook. I haven't even been on Facebook for 3 weeks, to be honest, until kind of today. But even then, I hate it, bro. I'm starting to really hate it.
Fell off the Facebook wagon, huh?
I can't be fucked anymore with Facebook, man. I just can't. But anyway, we're not here to talk Facebook.
No, we're here to talk Julia Hart.
Dark Sky.
Look out behind you, Jimmy.
That was weird, dude. I don't know what happened there. Like I said, that was weird.
Yeah, and look who's back. Trish Adora. She's back.
She's back, all right.
Back for the TBS title. Probably.
How long is it going to be where Mercedes Moné will be not only the TBS Women's Champion, but the AEW Women's Champion as well? I mean, she'll just rule. She'll be CEO of all of women's wrestling in AEW.
She might challenge Eddie for that Continental.
Don't make me laugh, because I don't know why I could picture it, dude. I could picture her and Okada being in a tag team for some reason too.
Ooh, Monday.
I don't know why. I don't know.
Something about the way they were together. And
it's also, you
about
know,
that time that they were together. Yeah,
but they suit each other though, dude. They suit each other. I don't know why. I just feel like they got good chemistry, dude. I don't know why. I feel that way.
Let's do it.
CEO.
Anyway, we'll worry about them later, but right now we got Julia versus Trish Adora. So I will say something nice. I liked how, they didn't try to do too much in this match, but they did go outside. But one thing that was cool that I liked, and I don't know if it was by accident or if it's just that, hey, maybe somebody decided, hey, can we just do some wrestling? But if you notice the way the match was going, Julia couldn't really out wrestle Trish or even out fight her. So they go to the outside. She goes to the outside. And when Trish goes to follow her, she ends up, throwing Trish into the stairs. So it's kind of like, okay, I couldn't out wrestle you. I couldn't out fight you. So I'm going to kind of cheat. And that's how I get.
Wow. They actually did ring sock. I mean, they actually had psychology in their match. What was
like I said, maybe it was by accident, but that's how
it probably was.
So. Yeah.
I wouldn't put it past them. I'm telling you, I don't know if they meant it, bro.
Yeah, but anyway, it worked, and then kind of the rest of the match was kind of just Julia beating her up until she did the moonsault. So, but at least that tells a story of like, hey, I was in total control until you ran my head into the stairs a couple times.
Yeah.
So I'm sure Danielson and Shibata probably thought that was realistic. So. So that was what that was. There was and it's almost like somebody was listening to last week's wreckage, because I also complained about how every fucking match is like there's some post-match angle with somebody running out and somebody doing something, and it's just like, can we just have a match end? Well, this one just did. Julia Hart won, and that's the end. There you go.
Speaking of people listening, Todd, funny enough, I'm pretty sure you were listening last week, but that's exactly what we were saying last week, Todd, about Mercedes should join the Elite, even if it was tongue in cheek. But it would make, I mean, I could see that. It would suit her for some reason, especially, the way she is as a heel. It'd make total sense. But anyway.
Yeah. So, there you go. Any other thoughts on Julia and Trish?
You know what? This is the match where the power of the phone started hitting. Actually, I went to the computer at this point and started setting up for this show. So yeah, I didn't really care so much about this match, and I didn't pay attention to it. It's funny because I've got like 3 pages full of notes, but this was the match I didn't really concentrate on, but everything else I did. I don't know, man. Julia Hart just doesn't do it for me, man. I mean,
Okay.
can you take her serious as a champion right now? I mean,
No, maybe not me personally.
I think she's too young to even be in this spot. She's decent,
22.
but she's very young. She's a baby, bro. Should she be in this spot, really? Even though she's doing all right for what she's trying to do, but really, should she be in this spot?
Yeah, why not?
I guess.
Should
Why
anybody be
not?
doing anything? Why don't they all just pack it up and go home?
Well, no, but really, shouldn't they be doing something? I mean, when you think about it, yeah, she's got a cool look, whatever, but what are they doing with Statlander, for example, right? Shouldn't they be doing something like this more so with someone like a Statlander?
Hey,
You know what I mean? Even though
Statlander
she's
couldn't
young
even
too.
beat Riho. She's cooked.
See what I
You're
mean?
cooked, Stat. Go back to space.
Yeah, not New York. Go back to what was it, Andromeda?
Yeah.
Go
Back to
straight
the
back there,
Andromeda
man.
Galaxy.
God damn it.
Go boop somebody.
Yeah. Whatever happened to that?
She gave that up with space.
You know what, dude? She was better when she was
when
like
she
that.
decided to be a Rhea Ripley knockoff, that's when she gave up the space.
Do you remember that? She was actually saying
still
mummy.
going on.
Wait, she said mummy again?
It doesn't matter what she says.
No.
Just look at her.
But why did they make her say mummy for, knowing that Rhea Ripley was saying that shit? That's what
That's exactly
blew my
why.
mind.
That's exactly.
Well, she ain't no mummy, that's for sure.
She sure ain't.
And the thing about Rhea, she's a rare, she's one of those rare cases because she's so young too, you know what I mean? But she's just a freak. She's just a rare talent, you know what I mean? And whatever they're trying to do, like with the AEW women, it's just they don't have that sort of talent to be able to pull that type of shit off. You know what I mean? She's just gifted in every sense. She gets it. Well, she's an exception, but you know what I mean? Money. And we'll talk about Rio. Actually, Rio wasn't here, but anyway, forget Rio. There was a point I wanted to say about Rio, but there's no point.
Yeah, we're not comparing Rhea to Julia, Aaron Ben. That's we're comparing.
Hell no.
We're comparing Rhea to Statlander being a knockoff Rhea.
Yeah, not Julia Hart. Come on. It's not even a comparison.
Is the demolition to the Road Warriors of Rhea Ripley.
or the Crush to Demolition.
Well, speaking of unnecessary add-ons, we have Zach Knight backstage, and Lexi's with him.
I was shocked, man. I love Harley Cameron. I don't know, man. I think they should be doing more with this woman, but they don't. And I'm not saying she's talented in the ring, because she's not. But in terms of character, she's a laugh, dude. She makes me laugh. She's a half decent promo too. And it's funny because D goes to me, who's that? I go, that's Saray's brother. I guess he's on TV for once. Well, why should I care about this guy, dude?
Because he's
cool.
He's angry and wants to fight.
So okay. Why? Because he's British?
Yeah.
God.
His name is Zach, and he loves to fight.
Well, I wonder where that sounds familiar.
Yeah, I wonder why. Well, he's gonna fight the non-daddy guy of 2.0. So, or is he?
I have no idea. Even that was bizarre, bro. What's going on with Ruby Soho and Two Hand Ange, whatever his name is? What the fuck, bro? But we'll get to that.
Everybody has two hands.
What do they call him, bro? He's a Cool Hand Ange. Sorry,
old human being Angelo Parker.
Yeah, no, they call him Cool Hand Ange. Sorry, I don't know why I said Two Hand Ange, but
actually, I like yours
laugh.
better, to be honest.
Well, he's even any good with two hands? I don't know, bro.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck.
But yeah, so I mean, I guess this was the. What was it?
After you off with the two hands.
Somebody beat this guy up, right?
Who? Ange?
Yeah.
Did they? I
Yeah.
can't. Who cares?
Remember? And Ruby was screaming. She's like,
Oh
"Get
yeah,
help."
that was weeks ago, wasn't
Yeah,
it?
that
Wasn't
was
it about
weeks
3 weeks ago?
ago.
Right.
He's been in
That's
the
why-
hospital.
He must have been nearly.
He's the only guy to ever sell anything at AEW. He's been in the hospital.
Unintentionally, but I bet you, dude, 100%. I mean, they don't mean it. I don't even know what's going on with this bullshit. But Josh says in the chat that get that nickname trending, Jimmy. Two-hand Ange, huh? Anyway,
Wait, we haven't even
fucking hell.
got to him. This was just
Right.
Zach Saraya, getting
Zach
mad on
Saraya.
camera.
We'll just call him Zach Saraya. But why are these two together? Is there something I'm missing? Like, I don't know why they're together. Like,
I don't know. Well, Zach's been on Ring of Honor just like everybody else on this damn show. But I didn't remember seeing Harley with him, so I don't really.
That's why I'm
get it.
asking. Why are they together?
I don't know. It was Harley's with Saraya, right? So
Yeah, but why were they even together? Like, I didn't even understand why they were together.
nobody knows.
And where is Saraya?
She was on Rampage, wasn't she?
I actually haven't watched Rampage, so I don't know. She was? She might have been. All I know is Rampage is live this
beat
Wednesday.
up two guys that were standing around backstage.
Wow.
They certainly
Cool.
were not indie workers. Whoever
They
they
weren't? Oh, I see. They weren't indie workers, right?
Uh-huh.
And they had two hands, right? Both of them?
Yeah, 4 hands all together. Yeah.
There you go.
But anyway,
fucking hell.
the Magic Daddy is on commentary for this next
Magic
match.
Daddy.
So that
Right.
means that we're getting Daniel Garcia, baby. And I can watch it because it's not in the main event. It's right at the beginning where he belongs. And he's taking on Lee Moriarty. So I guess Shane Taylor had enough jobs. His job card is filled. So he sent out the henchman with the cat mask and
got buried, choked out, done and
Yeah.
dusted.
yeah. What do you have on your pages of notes for this one?
Let's see. What do I have here? Oh, meh. I don't even care, unfortunately. That's what no shit. That's what I've got right
Did
there.
you write down?
I swear
I'm
to
going
God.
to pick up my phone, and then you picked up your.
No,
phone.
no, really. I just didn't care. Like, he kicked the shit out of him, dude. Really, Garcia. But the problem with this, for me, they're trying to do something with Garcia, right? But where to now? What's he doing after this? Like, he's gonna beat up some other fucking sap. Like, do you know what I mean? And then what?
He's going to go sap by sap until he finally gets to the ultimate sap, Sean Ross sap, and then he's going to tap out Sean Ross sap. He might have to disguise himself as a woman to get him in the ring. So we get to see Daniel Garcia in a dress. And then,
Oh no, please.
yeah.
We've already
And
seen
then once
enough
he
of
gets
those
rid of
gimmicks.
that guy and sends him off to the back room with Tony, then
Oh.
yeah, you know what's going to happen there. And then
shit.
yeah, and then he can think about challenging for one of those titles like a TNT title. If Edge is able to get the TNT title back, maybe Garcia and him have unfinished business, right? So
Oh God, I
ooh,
couldn't care
man,
less.
let me tell you, brother, that's some long-term booking right there, you know.
Long-term storytelling, actually, Ben. What are you saying?
Yeah. Who
But
says
Aaron
they don't
Bench
have
Shlomo.
storytelling?
That's what people say to me all the time, apparently, on Twitter. Like, if you don't know that, there's stories, then you clearly don't watch AEW, apparently. So,
Right. Yeah.
But Aaron Bench
I know,
Shlomo says
hey, I know their stories. I know they all suck, but I know they're there.
they're there. They're there.
All right,
But,
so again, I'll be nice. There was a good heat spot in this match because Shane Taylor was out there. And then when Daniel Garcia was standing outside and then Shane Taylor started talking shit to him. And then when Daniel Garcia started talking shit back to him, Lee Moriarty just flew out of the ring with a dive and blindsided him. So that's how you do a dive, right? It's not like throw a guy to the outside and then start jumping up and down and doing this and then bouncing and hitting the ropes. It's
Right.
don't
that's what
even
they do.
see this
They
guy
do.
come in and then bam, out of nowhere. So
That's almost like a derby spot too, man. That's kind of what he
yeah,
does. You know what I mean?
that looked good. It didn't look safe, but it looked good. And you know, then they had the rest of the match, whatever. Daniel Garcia out wrestled him, got over, heel hooked him. And that's it. No angle afterwards. Like I said, finally we can just I swear they gotta listen, Jimmy. They're listening to this show. And I guess I was so disappointed in them last week with that clusterfuck of a fucking street fight that they all just hung their heads in shame and rewrote this episode and decided to do things right. So I'll give them credit for listening to the genius that I am.
The
Speaking
genius.
of dives, Darby broke his foot.
Oh, wow. And I was saying actually on the skirmish that I did yesterday, funny enough, that it's probably a godsend that happened. I kid you not. I truly mean that, dude. Because who knows? He could have gone to Mount Everest and then never came down again. You know what I'm saying, dude? Like, I think that was a good thing that happened to him in a way, man. Maybe he shouldn't go to Mount Everest, even though he still wants to go to Mount Everest once he heals.
I don't even think Mount Everest can kill Darby Allin. I think he'll be fine. But he's not going to get to go. Well, he said he is going to go next year, which means either that, you know, that his foot injury is going to take a year to heal, or that, or that Mount Everest is only open during March for climbing.
Maybe it is. I don't know. I've never
been there. I couldn't tell you.
I didn't even want to go there. Would you actually want to go there, honestly?
No, it's cold.
Exactly. I don't know why people are obsessed, but anyway.
Yeah, I'll take their word for it. It's a tall mountain. I'll take their word for it. I don't need to see it.
Well, Labrat thinks that Darby will do a coffin drop off the mountain. Probably he might come down in a coffin for you know. Is that a coffin drop? If that was to happen, I mean,
you think he could get in a coffin and slide down it?
Well, anything's possible when it comes to Darby. I'm just saying.
Yeah, but no, I mean, I you know, it's too bad. The match was all right. It was pretty good, I thought, with him and Jay. I actually did like a lot of the things that were on the Big Business show in general.
That was a great match.
One of the better episodes.
Dude, you know what? I wanted to say it to you before, and I'll say it now because I forgot to say it before. But I actually, for the first time in months, that first hour, I actually enjoyed, dude. I kid you not. The second hour, though, fell badly on its butt, like savagely. And that's what let me down. Yeah, but that first hour, you know, for a moment, it felt like AEW was kind of, especially when it comes to Wednesday nights, not so much here, you know, with Collision. It felt like it was gaining momentum a little bit again, bro. And then it fell on its butt.
I feel like both shows can't have momentum at the same time. I feel like it's either one or the other. They never both pick it up.
Have you noticed they're starting to have two different teams pretty much, including the referees for both shows?
Not overly, but I could kind of.
Right, like I'm saying, it's sort of creeping gradually, very slowly. Don't get me wrong, you got a lot of guys that are on Wednesdays as well, but I'm just saying the referees though, they're pretty much two different crews, man, on the Saturdays and on the Wednesdays. But I don't know, man, what they're trying to achieve. But anyway, let's continue on with the Collision review.
Yeah, next is Pac versus Aaron Solo.
Where's he been? Don't tell me he's been in Ring of Honor this whole time.
Jimmy, he's been in Ring of Honor.
Oh, God. Well, cheers to Solo or Swallow, whatever you want to call him. Mr. Bailey, I don't know. But, dude, yeah. Hey, he was with it for a few years. But, Pac, I love Pac, but the problem with Pac, when are we going to see him next? There's always that chance where we're just not going to see him anymore for like another 6 months. And that's what I hate. They need to be more transparent with Pac. What the hell's going on with this guy? Why does he disappear every, 3 matches and he's gone for 6 months? I don't understand what's up with this, dude. Is it him? Is it his contract? Is it the company? They don't have anything for him? What's going on? Maybe I'm asking too many questions that I can't get answered.
I don't really know I don't really know what all goes on with him. There's different issues at different times. But frankly, they have a lot of people, and when he's gone, he's not necessarily missed. No offense to him,
Which is weird too, right? It's true.
but it's not a knock on him. It's just saying like there's so many people, you know. But he seems to be back for now, so we'll just, you know, he beats Aaron Solo, and then you know, you get to see your fancy a black arrow, and then his little rings of Saturn thing, whatever that's.
The rings of Saturn, the way he does it is the worst ever, bro. I hate it. I don't like the way he pulls it off because it looks fake as shit. It's almost not as bad as seen as STF, but if you look at it, man, he looks like he's yanking, but really you can tell he's not. If that makes sense, like it just doesn't
Isn't
look
that
legit.
Isn't that the point of?
I know, but and you're right, but at least you want it to look kind of real. Like when Danielson does the crossface, it kind of looks way more legit, if you know what I mean. Even though it's really not, but it's hard to explain, man. I just feel like the way he does it, even though it's decent, it just doesn't look like he's really yanking on him. Even though he's like, you know what I mean? Like I don't know, man. It kind of takes me out of it a little bit.
Well, Pac is he's a talent, and I've always liked him. I'm glad he's back. We'll see what he does. Right now, he taps out Aerosolo, and then he cuts a promo afterwards. He's like,
The worst promo ever.
"No, it wasn't." He
That
said
was 2 seconds, man.
he told well, how long does he need to go? He just says that he's looking for trouble, and he's looking for
That's
Tony to
it.
find him some trouble, and this isn't what he had in mind. So get him somebody better.
But the way they were hyping him up, you thought he was going to actually do a proper promo. But yeah, he just wants trouble.
Yeah. I don't need something to be predictable and hyped up. I just need it to seem like it happened in the moment
Fair
rather
enough.
than pre-planned, you know? At least somebody didn't run out. You know, he didn't say, "I'm looking for trouble," and then they hit somebody's music.
That would have
Like,
popped me.
that's
actually.
exactly what I told them not to do, and they didn't do it.
Right.
So good.
They didn't. It's true. They must be listening.
They're batting 1,000 so far. Well, how about this
It's the little
promo
things.
then? You didn't like Pac's promo. How about Danielson's promo? He's meditating, and then he realizes there's a camera in the room, so he decides to cut a promo. Professional,
You know-
on the spot.
Ah.
He's just sitting there minding his own business. And then all of a sudden he's like, "I sense a presence," and then he opens his eyes, and there's the camera. So he's like, "Well, I'm a wrestler. Here's a camera. It's time for a promo." So he cuts a promo.
Well, in
What
my
do you grade
notes,
this
I,
promo, Jimmy? What does your notebook
I
say
wrote,
about?
why is Danielson meditating? I mean, why? Why was he
That's it?
meditating? That's well,
Oh.
and also the chops. You know what I mean, and how bad that looked. But really, why was he meditating? Since when does he meditate? I know it's probably part of his American Dragon gimmick when you think about it, right? We're going way back, but still, this Danielson's got me a little confused. He's baby facing it one week, healing it up the next week, baby facing it again the week after, then healing it up again. What the hell is going on? What is he? Who is he? I just don't know what he is at this point anymore. Like,
Isn't that what they said about RoboCop? RoboCop, what is he? Who is he?
you might as well call it. You might as well make him into RoboCop. Why not?
Yeah.
Imagine that.
Then
Dragon
he'll get all
Cop.
welted up off a couple of slaps.
No, man. Once you try to chop him, you hurt your own hand. Believe me.
Look, that's just a classic, you know, it's like samurai meditation
what I said.
healing
It's-
ritual. He's
It's
just
the American Dragon, you know.
yeah, he's trying to heal. He's trying to heal his wounds right now. He's meditating. He's letting his body fix.
I'll
the
be honest.
damage.
You know where it's from? Did you ever watch the old school American Ninjas back in the day?
Yeah.
Do you remember American Ninja 2, Joe, the main character, right? Where he's in the corner before he's about to fuck up other ninjas. And he's like this. And he does this shit. And he turns into the red, the red belt around his waist instead of the black belt. Do you know what I mean? That's
Yeah.
what it fucking reminded me of, bro. He was
what
Joe
he was
from
doing.
American Ninja 2. That's exactly
Yeah.
what he was doing. American Dragon, American Ninja. Same.
That's right. Brian Dudikoff.
Yes. Brian Dudikoff. I loved friggin' Michael Dudikoff, by the way.
And
Great
I
actor back
guess
in the day.
I guess Cesaro is Steve James then.
Don't do
All right,
that.
Jimmy just choked and died over there.
Please do not do that because
Oh,
I literally spat all over the place. That is funny.
all right.
Nah, Cesaro's got no personality, but dude.
Well, okay. Well, Steve James is out here versus Lance Archer now, because that's what's next.
Oh
And
man.
they go at it. What do you have on your notepad for this one?
Well, funny. I kind of got it wrong, but I wrote here. I wonder who will win this match, right? To my shock, though. And another thing is why at one stage they were trying to have a wrestling clinic. Two big dudes trying to have a wrestling clinic. Why? I mean, Archer can't go that way. It's just not believable. I would have rather seen more of a heavy hitting type of match, more of an Archer type of match, and also, why did the Righteous? Where were they? I haven't seen those guys. They were out of sight, out of mind, dude. Have they also been in Ring of Honor?
No, but
Oh,
they were on Rampage, and they did a vignette where they dug up something out of the dirt, and it was like a box, and then they like a package wrapped up with string. I don't know if it was a few of my favorite things, but they brought the package, and that's the last thing we saw. I don't know what they had. I don't think they had it with them on this, but
what?
So
Okay,
dude, I don't know where they. I don't know where they were. I don't know where they were before this episode of Rampage. I don't know.
I was literally shocked. I was like, "What? The Righteous?" I remember Archer sort of being associated with them.
Yeah, they're a team, right? That's
I think.
Jake.
I think. Don't quote me.
Were.
I know they were doing something, but it's not. It's stupid because Archer clearly is not happy being amongst these weird cats.
She shouldn't be happy about anything that's going on with him, except that
Can
money.
we start? Well, I'm sure he's getting paid half decent, but he's not happy. Actually, that's a fact. He really isn't. So that I can tell you that firsthand.
All right. Well, I mean, who's not happy too is Brian, because he stopped meditating and came out to help Claudio. And then that was still 3-on-2. So then Shibata runs out with a chair. So this is a perfect WrestleMania angle to hype everybody up for WrestleMania, because he brought a chair out. He didn't cry. Shibata wasn't crying. He had a steel chair, a steel folding chair.
Old school steel folding chair, right? I mean, come on.
Maybe
they'll be on Bloodsport. Oh, hell yeah, bro. Absolutely. What's the Destiny? Is that what it's called? Is that what it is? Destiny. Great name. Todd says in the chat, was it a small package that the Righteous had?
Yeah, I mean, medium size, I would say.
Oh, I see. Well, there's your answer, Todd. It was a medium package. They don't even call the small package a small package anymore, dude. The legit small package. Remember that? Now it's a schoolboy, isn't it?
No, a schoolboy.
Oh, wait. Does anyone even do a small package anymore?
A small package is just an inside cradle.
Right. And the schoolboy is just a roll-up, isn't it? Just a normal roll-up.
Yeah, they call that a roll-up.
But that actually, I haven't seen a small package executed. No shit. I feel like forever. Like, I don't remember anyone actually doing that recently. Think about it. I'm being dead serious. When was the last time you seen a small package, for crying out loud?
Well, all the fans complained about it, so, they listened.
Well, I guess.
Every time somebody wants with a small package, the fans are like, oh my God, he went with a small package? This is so stupid. Oh my God, he went with a roll-up? We're going to roll up ever using a street fight. Again, the fans know everything. Lexi's with Ruby, Soho, and two-hand Ange, and she talks him out of fighting, I guess, is what the point of this was.
So, Vic, can I ask, are these two an actual deal? Are they a package now? Is that what's happening? Not a small package, but
small, just a package.
Just a package, right? Are they like a thing? Yeah.
They got dug up by the Righteous. Yeah.
Oh, well. So they're a thing, apparently, and they care about each other. How cute.
Oh,
I don't give a shit.
yeah. I mean,
Straight up, I just want this to end already. God damn it.
it's a little gross, actually.
Yeah, they don't even suit
They're
each
acting
other,
like
dude.
they're not both in like their 30s and shit. Like this is like
They're
a
acting
junior
like they're
high
fucking
date.
right. Exactly.
Will you be my Valentine? Do you like me? Circle yes or no.
Circle yes or no. Oh Jesus Christ. AEW, man. Anyway.
So, yeah, whatever on that. Here's another one. The return of Kyle O'Reilly. And he's taking on the big business in Boston bounty hunter Brian Keith.
The big business.
The business is big, Jimmy.
Oh,
Business.
yes.
The bounties
Business ain't going too good, it seems, for Mr.
There's a
Keith.
bounty on Kyle O'Reilly, and he's here to collect.
Boy. This was a decent match. I mean, I guess. Actually, if anything, this felt like the first match in many ways between Danielson and Shibata. It was kind of rehashed, in my opinion, dude, in many ways.
Yep, it really was.
But Kyle O'Reilly, I mean, no personality. Kyle, I mean, gets his win. Like,
I wouldn't say that.
Oh, come on, Vet. What personality does this guy have, really?
I don't know. He's got the personality of most Canadian dudes. I feel like Kyle O'Reilly, of all the guys in the Undisputed era,
right,
he was like the secret best member. Because Bobby Fish was like, Bobby Fish was fine. Okay. Not going to build a company around Bobby Fish, really.
Nah, definitely not.
He's Roderick Strong. No promo there. Short. Takes
skinny.
His matches are way too like he does not work his size. He's very
yeah, that's true.
He's very aggressive in how much he tries to ignore that he's like 5'6". Adam Cole is also 5'6". Kyle O'Reilly's better than Adam Cole in the ring.
In the ring, Kyle O'Reilly probably is the best out of all of them.
I think he's on par with Adam Cole on the microphone. Adam Cole is very overrated as a promo, and I think Kyle O'Reilly's very underrated as a promo.
That's a big call, Vet. That one's a big call.
Well,
but I can see where you're coming from.
Take it from a guy that's watched most of what these two guys have done for the past 10 years.
That's true. I mean, yeah.
I'll put my viewing of these two guys in the past 10 years up against anybody else on earth, even Meltzer. I've probably seen more of their stuff than anybody else. So I think I'm qualified to make these judgments.
I got to say, I've seen a lot of their shit over the last 10 years too, bro. I'm not going to lie. Going back from Ring of Honor, to New Japan till now, and WWE, of course. Yeah, but you know what? They're the worst they've ever been. At this point in their careers, let's be honest, Vet, they're the worst that they've ever been in their careers, dude.
At this point, yeah. And, I thought Kyle O'Reilly was a guy that you could do something with in the right role. But you can't just push him straight up as a main eventer like a replacement for a Danielson. But if you treat him like an underdog, I feel like you could get he could be a main event type.
Event, woof.
He could work.
That's a huge call. Oh, okay.
I'm not saying I'm not saying like the guy that you put out there as like the major stars, but I think he could work with the main event stars, and he could get enough people behind him. He has a quality to him that, I think people get behind his authenticity. But
right, he does come across as authentic. I'll give you that.
Yeah. So there's a role for guys like this to get over. And if anybody disagrees with me about Kyle O'Reilly, it's because nobody has used him the way he's supposed to have been used. That's why you think how you think. I'm not talking about what I've seen from Kyle O'Reilly in the booking. I'm talking about what I see from him
as a person,
his tools, what he has.
Right.
I know what he could do. So anyway, that's my thoughts on him. I always thought he was like the secret best member of that four.
In the ring, I will agree with you definitely. I can see when you say, getting that sympathy sort of, the crowd behind him. I can see that too because look at him. I mean, and he makes no secret about his diabetes, for example, and what he's gone through with that. I don't know if that's a good enough reason to get behind him, though. Like, really, when you think about it, like,
Well, the diabetes is one thing because a lot of people are diabetic, but really his
right,
neck injuries are what
and that,
has caused a problem over the years for his career. And as well, you can really see it now
yeah, it
because
looks it,
the
dude. It
first thing I
shows.
noticed is that his right arm from the shoulder down has atrophied, much
Yeah,
like
like Kurt Angle, for example, is
or
like
Paul
that too.
Orndorff, I'm
Paul
thinking of.
Orndorff, right? Mr.
Um,
Wonderful.
yeah, and that the reason that things like that, it's you can't train the way you used to, so you can't you can't get that back really. So he's gonna now sort of look like asymmetrical at best and kind of a little bit disturbing at worst. It looks like he's kind
It's
of
gonna
shriveled
get
up
worse
there.
too. Yeah, no, for
Yeah.
sure. No, you're right. It's definitely, man. There's been a few wrestlers that have had that issue over the years, but yeah, Paul Orndorff is definitely one of the most well-known cases that ended his career. Essentially, I mean, he tried to keep going, but he just wasn't the same. He just wasn't. And Kurt Angle's another one that has that exact issue on both sides, bro. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I mean? But he was a machine. He still somehow kept, going. He just, I don't know. He's just a different type of guy. But you're right, man. You can see he's having that. Even in his face, you can see he looks like he's in pain, dude, when he's wrestling, man. And
Yeah, he
I don't know.
definitely does not look like a healthy person.
No, he doesn't.
Uh, in this match, though, he looked healthy enough as far as the way he was moving around and everything. He looked like he hadn't lost too much. Brian Keith and he just kind of went back and forth for a lot of this. So it's kind of a hard hitting match, but without doing anything like no crazy bumps really, just good good striking and wrestling
That
stuff. Like you
smart
said, just
working,
like the first match. Just
right?
so there it was, and then the finish was he hit that brain buster into an armbar on Keith, and Keith tapped out. And then the Undisputed Kingdom comes out to give him the old hip hip hooray and carry him off on their shoulders as a hero.
Do you sense they're gonna turn on him? What's happening here, dude?
Yeah, probably gonna turn on him.
You know what else I noticed, man? I didn't realize how cauliflowered Kyle O'Reilly's ears are, man. They're pretty bad, dude.
Yeah, well, he trains like a shoot.
I know, no,
So
he can wrestle a shoot style too, man. That's his style, really. Even like just how he works.
pretty sure
He's
he's fought mixed martial arts.
probably has. I haven't looked into it, but he definitely knows his shit when it comes to MMA. Definitely, man.
Yeah. So that's basically what I thought. Did you have anything else to add to that?
No, look, I felt like it went a little too. I just look. I feel like someone like an O'Reilly compared to Keith. I don't care bounty hunter or not. He's 4 foot fucking nothing, bro. Like, let's be real here, man. He's 4 foot. I hate his pants. I just can't stand his pants, bro. Like,
Well,
wear
he punched
jeans
him.
or something. It's too southern hick for me, if you know what I mean. Like, I don't know, man. I just don't dig it. No offense to
Poncho
anyone.
is Southern Hick.
Well, not the.
It's all
Well,
right, guys.
yes,
He's
it's
from a
sort
country
of.
that doesn't exist. Don't mind him.
I don't exist. Don't worry.
Yeah.
No, but really, man, it's just I hate those pants, particularly the poncho's all right. The pants, though, man, it's like I'm waiting for like a what do they call those Texan dancing, bro? What do they call it? Like the line dancing? Do you know what I'm talking about? That Texas style.
No.
Like they sort of do the Well, Zane, you're from Texas. You should know what I'm trying to get at. Happy birthday, by the way, to Zane. It's his birthday, by the way, today. He had to let us know yesterday. Not rodeo, not rodeo per se, but you're kind of on the right. Hey, well, look, you look like you're from Texas, David. You might be onto something, but more like that line dancing, that short stand tall in the H. What's the H? That short stand tall.
Houston.
Yeah, I know,
He's
but
talking about Houston.
what's he referring to though, other than
I,
Houston?
I think he's just sticking up for your comment about Brian Keith's height.
Well, he's just too small. And now you acknowledge your tribal chief, whatever that is. Yeah, happy birthday once again to you, Zane. There you go. I acknowledge you, bro.
All right. Well, is it square dancing? Is that what you're thinking?
Yeah, square dancing. That's it. That's the one I was looking for.
Is that a Texas only thing? I don't know.
I don't know. It reminds me of a Texas thing, but he just looks like a square
Nobody's
dancer.
Square dancing. We're talking about the bounty hunter, big business Brian, bounty.
Oh.
Yeah, him.
The square dancer.
No.
Anyway, just change your pants, bro. That's all I'm saying.
Don't listen to him, Brian. Now I know they're listening to the show. You keep wearing those pants and everything else. Don't change a thing. You'll win a match one of these days. Okay. Lexi is with Deanna and Rosa.
Rosa looks fine, man, in this promo. I'm not gonna lie. I like the way she looked.
What about Deanna? Still from Jersey?
Yeah, too Jersey for me. Even though, you know,
right.
I'm with an Italian anyway, but no offense, D. She gave me a look, that's why.
All right. Now we get well, I guess it's kind of a main event. It's not what closes the show, but it's the House of Black versus Private Party. I mean, the infantry. I'm sorry, I was confused because I saw a lot of
the
pink
botchantry. Yeah, see that piece. That's what I wrote
and
down
I was like,
exactly,
wait
bro.
a minute. Is this Private Party?
It's exactly what
oh my God, is that Private Party?
Oh my God, is that Private Party?
No, it's the infantry, damn it.
Well, that's exactly what I wrote, Ben. I'm glad you said that because I go, the infantry versus House of Black. I go, I didn't know army men wear pink. That's one thing.
Yeah, they had the military issue pink sunglasses.
Like, what's up with the pink? And what about the botch by Captain Sean Dean, bro? Did you see that? Did you catch that?
What did he do?
No, I don't know if it was during commercial, because during commercial, you know how I get, you know, extra shit during the the chaps. That's it, Todd. The chaps. But anyway, dude, he went to do some, like, he was going 100 miles an hour, dude, at one point, right? Now I don't know if this was during the commercial or not, but I'm sure you see it on Butchermania. But he went to bounce off the turnbuckle, like maybe do a backflip or some shit. Dude, he just fell right off the fucking turnbuckle. And it looked so bad. The commentators were like, oh, like they didn't even know what to say. They're like, oh, like they're trying to cover up for him. Shivani's like, oh, you know, sometimes that happens. You know, he was trying to go so far. Dude, it was a bad botch. Man, I've got to show you. Somehow I've got to show. It was bad, man. Once that happened, I was like, He fell right in front of Buddy on top of that. And Buddy just looked at him like, you know what I mean? And just kicked the shit out of him after that. And you could tell it really bothered him though, man. And, oh, well, there you go. David Mage in the chat said, I've seen that. How bad was that spot, Dave? Seriously, yeah, you got to check it out, man. Whoops. You have to check it out. It was disgusting.
I don't know why I didn't see it. I mean, I was.
Yeah, you should.
Perhaps I
usually you would
away
catch
for
this
1
shit.
second.
Dude, I wasn't even looking at the screen. Somehow something told me to look up, and as soon as I looked up, I just caught it straight away. Just poof, just the way he fell off that turnbuckle, man. It was bad.
So does this mean Charlie Bravo's the captain now?
Oh yeah, it could
Captain
be.
Status revoked.
Well, he should be revoked because, yeah, like Medium 5 says, that spot reduced Captain down to just getting, getting drafted. Yeah, he should be fired at this point, not even looked at. But yeah, it was bad.
Well,
real bad.
I mean, whatever. It was pretty one-sided anyway. Regardless of that, the House of Black just kind of beat the shit out of him.
Beat the shit out of him, bro.
You could kind of like tell where this was going at a certain point. Not only because of the way a wrestling fan just has that sense, but also we talked about this because last week FTR was out there doing a promo and randomly the infantry decides they want to interrupt FTR even though they've never been on Collision once. Not once.
I hated that, dude.
Never been mentioned outside of Ring of Honor. They've been doing everything on Ring of Honor, and then all of a sudden they show up and get in FTR's face. And I said the only way that this would have made sense is
they must be hearing us, man.
Is FTR they came out to say that they were entering the tag team tournament.
Yep.
And so the infantry could have had no way of knowing that they would have faced FTR in the tournament at all. And I said,
what do you
now
know?
what they could do is they could have it be a thing where infantry has to win one match, FTR has to win one match, and then they can meet up. And then it's like, oh, it's not as it seems like more random this way. And isn't that exactly what happens here?
It's exactly what happened, bro. It's exactly to a T.
Because Mark Briscoe came out, and earlier in the day he tweeted, I like tag team wrestling. I might have to watch this. So he's like already hinting. And then he comes out, he hits Buddy with a chair while the ref was with Julia, which he shouldn't have been with Julia because she had no reason to be up there because her team was winning. So why was she up there? And as soon as she saw Mark Briscoe come out, she should have got down, but she couldn't because the spot was for her to distract the referee. I'm just saying it was the wrong way to distract the referee with this. So
very wrong.
Anyway, it didn't matter. He hit Buddy with the chair, and then Buddy loses. Infantry moves on. FTR has a bye in the tournament.
What?
So,
they do?
Yep. So they were just waiting for the winner of this match, and wouldn't you know, it's the guys that came out and cut a promo on them. So Infantry versus FTR.
God damn it, man. But like you said, they must have been listening because you called it, man, to a T. And this is exactly what happened, man. Like, and if you don't believe us, just check out last week's episode of The Wreckage, where the vet literally played it out exactly how it was going to play out. And it's rare because it's hard with AEW. You know, when you think you know they're going to go one way, but usually they just go complete opposite, right? They didn't this time, and maybe they were listening, man. Who knows? I mean, who knows, right? They could
I take
be.
a lot of this stuff that happened on this show as like maybe one or two. It could be a coincidence, but
no, but
three,
no,
four,
it's
five,
not.
Starting to wonder.
It's a bit bizarre, and it's not the first time too. This has happened even months ago, where similar shit's happened. So yeah, it's bizarre, bro. And I wonder if anyone is listening. Look, there could be an obvious person though, vet. I'm just saying.
Mm-hmm.
You know who that obvious person could be?
Could be.
And that person could pass it on. You never know.
Yeah, who knows? Who knows?
I won't mention names, but you know what I'm saying.
We'll say that Malachi Black he was staring at his team disapprovingly as
do you blame him?
Like, really? The infantry? All right.
So. Exactly. And dude, the thing is, what really annoyed me about this though, I was impressed with Buddy and King, dude. I thought them two worked great together, man. They looked like two badasses, and they lost the way they did, and it just didn't sit well with me. But I get it.
Fuck them.
I guess. Fuck them.
You lost, losers.
But how big did Buddy look, dude? He looked gassed off the gills. I mean, he looks even more gassed than ever, dude.
You should share some of those muscles with Brody.
He should. Yeah,
Brody should share some of that height.
Yeah. Oh, Buddy had the height too. My God, bro. Jesus Christ. Anyway, they lost. They're losers.
They lost. Why are we talking? Why are we giving them airtime? Fuck them.
Right. Fuck them.
Edge and Christian. That's what's hot in 2024, right? That's current. Let's get to them. There's a package on them, and then all of a sudden, who comes out but El Borde? El Borde is here. He's got a case of some kind with him with the word Spike written on it.
El Spikey.
El Spico.
But you know, people legitimately thought could be Spike Dudley, bro. I was reading this
Nobody
shit.
thought that.
You think I'm joking? I'm not joking. Look on the Twitterverse.
All right. All you guys, if you thought Spike Dudley was in this,
I swear to you, dude.
delete your account.
There you go. The vet said it. Delete your account.
Go get help. Check into a facility. See if your insurance will cover it. Just really. Don't ever watch wrestling again.
Just don't.
You're not qualified, intelligence-wise.
That's brilliant. Why are you getting friggin' hay fever suddenly, vet?
I don't know. I'm allergic to AEW, I guess. Yeah, all right. I don't know. I've been a little bit
under the weather.
Maybe I'm allergic to this Edge promo. So Spike is actually It turns out that it's actually a board with nails in it.
It is.
Um,
From
and Edge is like taking credit for like crafting this thing. Like he sat there hammering nails into this board himself. I'm like, isn't this just Janice? I'm
yeah,
pretty
it
sure this is
is.
Janice.
Why didn't he just call it Janice? I'm pretty sure WWE haven't copyrighted that, right?
Probably, but I mean, they could. TNA will take any amount of money for something that's their intellectual property. So,
True.
yeah. Yeah. So anyway, yeah. So, yeah. Spike is now, Janice is now known as Spike, and I think he tried to say something about wanting an I Quit match is basically what he's trying to get at. So so that means an I Quit match, anything goes. He's gonna take his homemade, handcrafted board with nails in it, and he's gonna bring that. He's not gonna bring like like a sword or a gun or anything
The
else that he
gun
could
always
just much
wins.
easily bring. He's just gonna bring this 2x4 that he put several long nails in, and that's gonna be what makes Christian quit. I quit.
Yeah.
I quit. Guys. Don't worry about Christian or Edge quitting. I quit. I'm done with these idiots. Stupid
Fuck
Canadian
this.
idiots from Canada and the Canadian Tire Center.
Oh shit. Oh man, you're on fire tonight, Vet. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, fuck this. I
Nasal
couldn't care
passages
less.
are on fire.
Well, I think that's the call for us to take it home then, Vet. I mean, yeah, because that suddenly hit you, man. Maybe it was Spike that got you. Maybe it was a bit too dusty for your liking.
Yeah, as soon as Edge came out, I started getting twitchy and my eyes were watering.
You tired?
Yeah.
You look
Fucking
kind of
Edge.
tired this week, man. It's fucking Edge, bro.
Hey, I'm
What?
I'm fired up. Just like Tia Couponer says there. But unfortunately, just a little all of a sudden allergic. So apologize for that, but I mean, there's nothing else to say. I mean, we talked about it. They had a better overall show than they did last week, because last week the main event bombed so hard it pissed me off.
Yeah, that was pretty bad. That was real bad, actually. Yeah, I just feel like it was better this week for sure. I will say that. But solid B. I don't know if I'll go that far, Aaron.
It's a weak B. I'm gonna give it a B minus. That's just me.
Yeah.
Jimmy, you had a notebook page. What do you think? You did your homework. What's the grade?
Oh man. Either is a la carte, Jimmy. Look, maybe a B minus. I wasn't tuned out as much. Look, if I wrote quite a few pages of notes, I wasn't tuned out like I usually would be. You know how usually every week we're like, power of the phone. That happened maybe once or twice this time, not like 5 times. So, yeah, I'll say a B minus just. I could easily go C, though. Easily. But I'll stick with B minus. I'm with you. It was much better, but Dynamite was better, though. I'll say that. Even with that bad second hour, it's just that first hour was pretty good.
Yeah, I will say that now here's a case where this collision was, to me, the show was better because it was more like I wanted a show to be, where it's not just everything is just a damn match angle. But on the other hand,
they actually stayed with the formula this time.
Yeah, but all my a la carte items were over on Big Business. Like all the wrestlers I like, except for Mark Briscoe, who just ran out at the very end, they were on Big Business or not at all. Like,
right.
No, like on this episode had no Hook, no Serena,
True.
no Jay White, no Okada, no Eddie Kingston, nobody I like was on this show. So
True, that's a good point.
It was a better show, but it was without my menu items. And then watch next week, my menu items will be back on, but they'll like the show will suck again or something. It's just you can never have it all. That's why a la carte comes in. Shibata was like a surprise. That's like when the chef is like, "Here, I've prepared something special for you, Mr. Vet. Compliments of the
Yeah, I
house.
was
Here's a
surprised.
ciabatta," and I'm like, "Ooh, tasty." But I wasn't expecting that. That's not a everyday thing. So it's like, oh, okay, nice bonus. That helps get you towards your B minus. But you know, I had some other
Yeah,
things I was expecting to see on this menu. I didn't find them. So that's how I looked at it.
I'm glad you like that, Dave, man. Because he says I love the Tony Khan will bring in RVD. Sometimes that's cool about AEW. They will hire vets. Yeah, I mean, look, the vets are for somebody like you can't hate on the vets even if they're way past their prime. But I see what you're saying,
Or if they're
and
opening up Raven's joint with Ben Hameen, can't
yeah,
hate on
with
them.
RVD, yalla, exactly. Shout outs to Bin Amin and RVD and Ravens joint. And like, man, I hope they're killing it, man. I hope it's big business for Ravens joint and Bin Amin specifically.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Sonic the Hedgerat joins us out of nowhere saying CEO equals cunt employed often. Sorry, had to. Cunt employed have to.
Well, he didn't have to, but
But
he
you
did.
did. But you did. But you did. You did.
Yeah, it did.
Well,
you
Vet.
did it there. You called her a name there, Sonic.
Oh, man. Yeah, but I'm glad you're back, Sonic. Man, we've got a few listeners, man, right now in the house, which I'm actually happy about. Because, like I said, we'll be back on the
I think we're ready to
HMG.
go.
I know, always happens, bro. Always happens. But the fact that we're not in HMG and we've got this many listeners, I thank you all in the chat, man, for tuning in. Just remember though, I assume from tomorrow, you guys are doing the Impact Attack, for example. From Impact Attack on, we should all be back over at Hamin Media Group on the YouTube channel. So,
I think so.
I'm pretty sure we'll be fine. But John, never bring these guests again if you're listening. Just saying. Got us into a shit, pal. Well, Vet, in saying that, I think we can go to the casa or take it to the casa. So in saying that, man, tell them where they can find you, brother. Whoa. Jesus,
Monday.
Sasha. Monday. A bit too loud there. I don't know what happened there. But anyway, tell them where they can find you, man.
Yeah, at Opinion Haver on all your favorite platforms. You can find me every Wednesday on the Next Level Wrestling Review with Big Ray Hernandez, where we talk about NXT. That's 8 a.m. Pacific, 11 a.m. Eastern if you want to join us live, which should be on the HMG YouTube channel.
It will be. It will be.
If not, we'll see. Ray will definitely let you know where to find it. So with that, then like Jimmy said, Monday, 6:30 p.m. Pacific, 9:30 p.m. Eastern. We're Brandon for the Impact Attack. Talk about TNA Impact, and that's gonna be. That's just another reason why I could get allergic to the things I have to talk about. Having to talk about NXT, AEW's B Show, and TNA is really. Well, it's doing a number on my health, probably. I would imagine.
You deserve so much better than that shit, bro. Straight up.
But I'll do it. I'll do it. There's that. So check out those shows. Check out Wrestling with Rip Rogers every Friday, 8 a.m. Pacific, 11 a.m. Eastern, with a live Q&A where you can ask Rip Rogers a question. A lot of good questions this week, and plenty of territory talk on the channel as well, where he's telling stories about his time in Portland, or talking about his time in Mid-South, or, those different, it's going to be like a weekly thing where he just tells stories from the territories. So follow that YouTube channel, and then you'll get to see those little 20-minute storytelling sessions with Rip, in addition to the live Q&A every week. And then Stevie Richards. So we got to talk about Stevie Richards. Always doing a bunch of stuff, always keeping fresh content coming out, whether it's on Patreon, YouTube. He's recently talked about how he's going to be doing like a live watch along of WrestleMania 40, and he's got sponsored by he got sent these really comfortable chairs like movie theater type recliner chairs that he's got 2 of them, and they look very comfortable in his little video.
Awesome.
If you want to check out those chairs, go check out Stevie Richards Wrestling Analysis and get a look at those comfy recliners. Yeah, that's, check everything out that Stevie's doing, Rip is doing, I'm doing, HMG is doing, Channel Attitude is doing. Check it all out.
$5, just quietly. Well, in saying that, if you want to follow me, you can on the X or the Twitter, whatever it's called these days, at DJ Mass Effects, and also at the PWC Network. Like and subscribe right here on the PWC Network, where we're on right now for the time being, and also at channelattitude.com, where for $5 not only do you get the realest talk, but the best talk in all of pro wrestling, and Hamin Media Group.podbean.com, where we have all our affiliate shows, man. And in saying that, I guess that's a wrap, Vet. So I am Jimmy T, that is the Vet Jamie Williams, and you've been listening and watching the HMG Saturday Night Wreckage right here on the PWC Network for the week and via channelattitude.com. And we're out. Peace, and thank you all for joining us. We'll be back next week on the usual channel, hopefully. We'll keep you posted. See yous.
Back in my frame. It's been a minute. Y'all get back when I'm finished. CEO handling business. This was the mission. Stepping on all my minions. Get back to count my millions. It's been a thing. Conquered all my dreams. Now it's a regular scene. It's all in my genes. As soon as I hear a ding, they know the boss in the ring. Look at the scars, all this pain. I heard the fans call my name. I know the cost for all this fame. You call them dues, I call them paid. I got what it takes. Y'all be taking them L's. I'm great. No, they ain't taking that well mistake. No, I don't make them as well my name. I give them hell in a cell. CEO. CEO. Cause we're all CEO. Cause we're all CEO. Cause we're all CEO. I'm the CEO. I'm the CEO. Cause we're all CEO. I'm the blueprint, yeah, seems true. Edited. Let me teach you. Doubters will try to defeat you. Haters will try to repeat you. Don't let it beat you. Nah, I'm only human made. Everything I had to do to be great isn't impossible. You do the same. Y'all gotta stand your name. Straighten your focus. Show me you level up, going against the grain. When they want you to be regular, gotta control the dream. Show them that you're a competitor. Show up and show me your greatness. Now there ain't nobody better, huh? I never stop and neither should you. Fruits of my labor, it gave me the juice. Never say die, see I'm living proof. I'm living my life to the world's living real. They see it in me, make them see it in you. They don't know that I am believing in you. They never thought I would